What's up, Mr. Peculiar back? Another psychedelic adventure here. We've got a dubstep sort of inspired, well, the techniques that it creates, creating a dubstep sound, but I've kind of applied it to the psychedelic trance thing. So as you heard in the intro, it sounds pretty good. So let's start off with a new instance of Serum, initialized. First thing we'll do is go down to the wavetables, and I'm going to choose the retro speaking one. I found that to work really well. Others do work, but it's nice to start here. Let's turn up the unison a couple of times, and we won't make it too wide. Maybe go for 3. Now the kind of key of this sound is this LFO here. Well, it's part of it anyway. So if we press shift, we can create quite heavy blocks, if you can press the button right on Serum, and this will be kind of work as a gate. So we're going to attach this to the level, turn the level down and apply it. Now how we get this wavetable, there's many ways to do it, but the random way to do it is to right click here, go mod source and select chaos. Now when we click the key, it'll randomly fly through this wavetable. Now it stabilizes there, so let's go over to the chaos and have a look at it. Let's put BPM sync on, let's turn sample and hold on, and we'll crank it up a little bit, say quarter notes. Let's try that. Maybe we'll go up to eighths and get a bit of a faster transition here. So then we're getting random points selected throughout the wavetable, which gives us that pretty cool psychedelic effect. So what I like to do with this initial LFO setting is to apply the first macro over to the volume, because we might not want to gate it all the time, and this gives us the ability to wind it up and have full notes playing, so easier for me to play it for you to see. So I think you get the picture with that one. It just gives us a bit more flexibility over the sound. Next thing I like to do is turn the sub oscillator on and turn the volume down, and we're going to FM the original wave file with a sub oscillator. So if we check this out, it tweaks out the sound quite a bit. So let's drop the sub oscillator down one and try that. Okay, so you see there's a short window of where we want to play with this sound. If we go too high, it just sounds hissy and horrible. So what I do is apply the second macro over to it, turn it to full, and then we find the sweet spot. Somewhere around there sounds pretty good to me. And now we have a nice way to control the FM. Really great. Now pretty much the last thing I do is go to the effects. Let's turn on hyperdimension, pretty stock standard for dubstep sounds. Turn up the mix on the dimension. We get a bit more space out of that. Turn on the compressor, multiband, another pretty common dubstep tool. Just brings our sound right out, makes it sharp and full power. Last thing I like to do is put a delay on. Now I might not do this in Serum, but in this case we're making a patch, so we're going to do it in. Put it on ping pong for that stereo effect again. Let's change them to 8, turn 1 to dotted, pull it all the way down. So when we wind this macro up, 8th might be a bit low on the chaos, so we can crank that up to 16. That sounds good. Last thing I like to do sometimes is put the LFO on the pan. We get a bit more stereo. Let's wind it back a bit. And now what's great about this sound is we can get different sounds by trying out different wave tables. But I suggest that you play around with that. You can add filters and stuff. I thought it was cool that you could get such a crazy awesome sound just out of the wavetable itself and a couple of effects. Obviously add more effects if you choose, assign them to macros. We can say, for example, put a reverb on, do the classic spacious reverb trick, stick the third macro over to the mix, and then we've got a space effect in there as well. You can go all day long and play with those settings and features, but I think it's a pretty cool sound. Alright, that's Mr. Peculiar out. Another psychedelic adventure. Stay tuned for more, and if you made it this far, I think it's time to subscribe and like. Cheers.